Okay, hi guys. After finishing our episode, we realized that we talked for an hour instead of 30 minutes as planned. So we're going to do a little cut right here, and part 2 of the episode is going to come next week. Second point or thing that we think that can be just marketed in a better way, and it was people telling others on the internet, so marketers telling others that network marketing is so easy and you don't have to put in any work. That's what we also didn't like. So how would you market it instead?
So I would say there are easy things about network marketing. Like, you do not have to have a degree. You don't have to go to school for like 4 or 5 years. You don't have to have a lot of money to start it. You don't have to have a camera, you can use your phone. These kind of things you can say. These kind of things you can help people be like, do you not have a formal education? Do you not want to go to school for 4 or 5 years to make a certain income? Well, then this is a great option for you, because for me, for example, when I was an immigrant, homeless, high school dropout, this would have been great. I would have loved it. I was a teenage mum trying to stay at home, still trying to work. This would have been great for me, I would have been able to utilize that to my advantage. So it will talk to people that want it, and for the other side, I think that people can show the things that we do as content creators, like showing how you make reels, showing which apps you use, showing a little bit off of like your daily routines, what you do. And obviously, people will still make assumptions that things are easy, and that's fine.
But that's what people always say. No matter whether it's YouTuber, influencer, all the people are always, oh yeah, but that's not work. Like, you're just posting a video per day. Like, why are you complaining? This cannot be that hard. And I'm like, guys, do you have any idea how much work it actually takes to put high or at least mid-quality content out there? Yeah,
but it's not just the content, and I think that's what everybody forgets. We message, we react, there are a lot of
when
steps.
You just say with the content, it makes me so angry. And I'm honest, before I started content creation, I also was this person that thought in my head, oh, how chill is it to be a YouTuber? You just have to record yourself doing something, then you post it and you make so much money. What a life. And then when I started to do it, I was like, gosh, this is so much work. I mean, just with us, our episodes that we're doing now here, even the first episodes that even didn't have the quality that we want, we put in so much work into editing these episodes, into putting them online.
But we also didn't lie about the work.
No, of course.
Because we put in on our stories, like taking hours, and this went wrong, and this went wrong. And that's the way we wanted to do it, right? The honest way.
Exactly.
And I think that that's the way we should do it. And I get that people want to say that it's easy and blah, blah, blah. But I think that the right people that enjoy these kind of things, because if we're honest, you enjoy editing.
Yeah.
You enjoy it.
Yeah, I do a lot. And like I already mentioned last time, it's not necessarily easy. The kind of work is just different. And I think you need to decide for yourself whether it's easy or not. Because for me, it's way easier than going to a normal job. But why? Not because I'm spending less hours on it, definitely not, but because I really enjoy doing it, and my heart is with it. And then there come advantages, like I can make my own schedule, which again, for some people it's easy, for other people it's not easy. I can plan my day how I want it to. There are things, for some it's easy, for others it's not, but it's just this way of marketing it. When you say easy, or just with the word easy, people have already an image in their head. What does it mean, easy? And then there comes again, it's not faking yet, just because other people have assumptions when they hear a word, but then it comes how you place it out, how you pretend. When you say make 1 reel per day and you're becoming a 6-figure earner.
Yeah, or saying I'm sitting by the pool all day doing absolutely nothing and making a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah, the advantage is that you can work from the pool. Yes, 100%.
Yes, but you're not doing nothing.
Exactly. You have the locational freedom to work from wherever you want, but that doesn't mean that you're doing one phone call, maybe later on. But in the beginning stage, you're not making one phone call and then you have made your money for the day.
I also think that a lot of people that make the bigger income, I think we'll be surprised how much time they put into the work. Because even then, I think the longer you're in it and the more you make money off of it, maybe not all of them, but the very, very successful people, it becomes a lifestyle to them. Yeah. Some people like to go out and party and do all these different things. And for some people really enjoy the network marketing where they get to connect with new people, go on trips. Like this is for them like partying, going out. At least that is for me. Because I personally don't like drinking, don't like partying, don't really go out, but I love events. I love going to these things. I love the education platform. I love spending my weekends doing calls, and this is what I like. And some people say to me, well, there's not any better, you know what I mean? Like they will say like, oh, well, it's, you know, how can you be enjoying yourself? But I enjoy it. And I think if you market it this way, the right way, showing them everything, the people that like what you're doing will want to do it, and the people that don't want to do it. And I don't think you should want people that don't like doing what you should be doing.
There we go again with the easy. For some people, yes, it's easy, because when you reach a certain stage in network marketing or a certain rank, a lot of work is done with basically just showing off your daily routine, for example. But even at that point, it's still work. You know, like even when we do something on a daily basis, even if it's nothing crazy, we are basically recording our day. Not everything, but a lot of it. You know, when we go to the gym, when we go shopping, when we are on calls, whatever we're doing, we're basically recording it because this is part of our job to show people what we're doing. And even that is work. I think you will agree with me that there are days where you really don't feel like recording.
Exactly.
But you know, if you want to be successful these days, you have to record too.
But even then, again, we have our crown leader. If I were to look at his schedule, I don't know, never looked at his schedule before, but I do not believe that he sits on his ass all day.
No, no, 100%.
No.
But I think this is also because when you got in the taste of success and you really have that entrepreneurial mindset, I think you just can't stop. That's what I hear a lot from really successful people, that they say, the reason I got so successful is because my brain never stopped working. I was always looking for more ideas to expand my businesses. And I think until you reached a really high amount of money or you're satisfied with entrepreneurship, you want to keep working.
And that's what I said last time, is that you should want to do something, you don't want to quit. And I think that a lot of people think that they want to do something so that they can quit. But I think the people that become the most successful are the people that aren't looking for a way out. And they never stop. They never stop. Doesn't matter how much money they acquire. They never stop. Because it's not about the hunger. It might start with hunger. It definitely did. 11 years for me ago, it started with me for hunger. Like everything I started going after, building, doing was out of necessity and out of hunger. But I think once the hunger is sort of left, it gets a little bit more harder to push yourself. And if you're not that kind of person that enjoys the whole process, you're going to get too comfortable. I notice on myself, like I've also gotten a lot more comfortable this last half year. Last 3 months have been the worst. I've been so comfortable. That has been horrible for me. But I think because I am so driven and I am that kind of person, I can reflect on myself. No, I'm being lazy. No, I'm getting comfortable and put myself back to gear. But I think if you don't have that, this would have been fine.
I think most people, they are in a state of mind where they're so comfortable, even if they say, I don't like this, I don't like my job, I don't like what I'm doing, but the pain is not painful enough in order for them to change something. It's still easier to be comfortable and, for example, complain about certain things instead of getting your...
I definitely agree with you, but I think one of the other things that also damages a lot of people is that when they complain, they have these people around them that are very comfortable and think that this is the only way, and they say to their friend, don't complain, this is life, you know, this is how it's supposed to be, you know.
I know more these people that say, really hard times, but what shall we do?
Exactly, but that kind of mindset of like there's nothing to do about it. Do you understand? So that person, instead of feeding into that pain and thinking, okay, so what can I do to change my situation? They're like, okay, everyone around me seems to think this is the way we should be living. This is normal. So what am I complaining about? Let me just go on.
Yeah.
You know?
And guys, I want to add one thing. When I say, for example, posting content is hard, doing a podcast is hard. Of course, when you compare it with somebody who is doing construction work or is working, I don't know, overseas, underground, under earth or whatever, of course, these jobs are way harder than what we're doing in a physical way. But I just think it's so hard to compare. In the end, even if you're sitting in an office all day and it's like physically not exhausting at all, if you're getting mentally sick because of the work that you were doing, this hurts as much as when you do physical work.
Can't compare. Exact same situation happened to two different people, and people will react very differently, feel very differently about the situation. So you can't compare the things with each other, you know? Let's go over to our last point, which was showing off the lifestyle. So I honestly, I'm not completely against showing off a lifestyle because I did it. I still do.
Yeah, but you do it because you have that lifestyle now. You are showing off that lifestyle because you have it. And I think then there's also nothing wrong with showing off a lifestyle. But at a point where you didn't have that lifestyle yet, what did you show?
Yeah, I showed myself behind a computer with a clapped up a fold-in chair and stuff. No, you're definitely right. When I think it was like after 3 months, I made my first, and it was a pretty big profit. Then I went to a hotel, and that was what I showed people, because for me, that was a huge deal to be able to go with my daughter and do certain things. And me being able to travel to America was like, it was a dream for me for a really long time to even travel. Me and my daughter hadn't traveled. And yeah, it was a big, huge turning point for me. And it was also like this huge, not goal, but something that you achieved, that you wanted to show people, like, I finally was able to, you know? So I don't think there's anything wrong with showing off a lifestyle you have, or things that you're able to have now that you weren't able to have before, but maybe flat out lying about it. For example, I know that a lot of people have messaged me about rooms I've stayed in, because I've stayed in rooms with saunas and stuff like that. And for some reason, people seem to think I'm like found some secret way to pay like very, very cheap amount of money for this room. No, I spent a lot of money on the room, but I never put like, oh, this room costs, like this trip cost me 5K, you know? For example. With flights, everything involved. I would never say that. But I think there are people that say, I spent 5K on my trip, and that's trying to attract people in that way. And I don't think the one is worse. Well, I personally do, but I think you can do it both ways. I don't think it's the right way, but I think you can tell people there are things that you can set for yourself as a goal. For example, you want to go on vacation more. And work towards that and show people, okay, so I've been able to go on vacation 3 times this year. Next year, I want to go on vacation 5 times, and maybe show that, you know?
But I think also more because when last episode we talked about lifestyle, what we were heading to is really this materialistic lifestyle. Just talking or posting cars, just posting videos where you throw around cash, fancy bags, fancy dress. If like I said last time, there's nothing wrong with being materialistic, but I just think materialism only is never going to make you happy. This is my opinion. And you should always have a mixture of what you show. There's absolutely nothing wrong with posting that, for example, you bought a Ferrari when you bought a Ferrari, as long as you're not lying about it. You know, like, for example, my goal is to be able to travel a lot. And then it's still not my goal to go to a 5-star resort every single time. My lifestyle that I want to show off in the future is really just being able to decide, today I'm going to Mexico, I will buy my plane ticket, and I don't have to care about how much it costs. And of course I will show off that lifestyle. And I think in the end, there's absolutely nothing wrong with showing off your lifestyle, because this is also the people you want to attract, right? Next to me wanting to travel, what do I want to do? I want to have the freedom to go whenever I want in the summer during the day in the park with my friends, drink a beer and play volleyball. This is not a lifestyle where people would say, oh, what a lifestyle. But it's my lifestyle, and I love that lifestyle. And this is what I'm doing doing, why I'm doing it. And of course, I'm going to show off that lifestyle, you know? So I think there's nothing wrong with showing off your lifestyle, at least when you're not lying about certain things. And we talked about it last time. When it comes to materialism, I think that's more the thing that when you put, or you, how you say it, when you like get every cent together in order to buy something materialistic just to show it off, to be able to show it off, this is where I see the problem.
Yeah. I think it's hysterical though, because you would have a bad person with me if you were to wear like very much designer clothes and have like the background with like stuff that costs a lot of money. I really wouldn't know, because like, even though I spend money on designer clothes now I have the money, right? Because I've never actually spent any money on designer clothes 2 years ago. I probably didn't own like maybe one or two things, but barely anything. I buy it now because I've noticed, after my friend has told me for 10 years the quality is better. It is. It actually is. The quality can be a lot better. But I never look at a brand. I'm always feeling the material. When I'm buying stuff, I'm always feeling the material. So it's not really about the brand to me. And there are a lot of brands. My daughter came home with Berlin. I do not know.
If you were bad with brands, I am worse.
Okay, well, I'm really, really bad. Like, we play that logo game. Woo!
Yeah, a friend in university, there was like the Daimler logo, and she was like, oh, Daimler, I love Daimler.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know either, but I was like, oh, it's the chocolate, no? And she was looking at me, and she was like, Fiona, are you serious? Like, it's a car. Okay, oh my God, this makes me so happy right now that you also don't know. Okay.
When it comes to cars, I'm absolutely awful. But in that case, I'm not the kind of person, but that's because we're both not very materialistic.
Yeah.
But if we were looking at a reel or a post, we would not be paying attention to that.
Yeah.
So I think you won't attract certain people, and
yes,
because they just don't look at those things, you know? So, and I think the people that do look at those things, you will attract, obviously. So it depends on what kind of person you are.
Yes. I don't know if you agree with me on that, but when you hear the word lifestyle and trading together, the most people have an image in the head of exactly this: Ferraris, expensive cars, a lot of cash. Would you agree with me or not?
Yeah.
So, and I just think there's absolutely nothing wrong with expensive cars, once again, but I think a lot of people, they chase this image. They don't actually chase the dream of having this fancy car. They want to have this car because of the image it has. I think, for example, when you're a person that really loves cars, that really loves Ferraris, Daimler, whatever there is out there, and you're like a car fanatic, then of course it's your dream to get that Ferrari or whatever car you're into. But I think these are not a lot of people. I think most people
just want to show people that. I like this topic, because before I had money, I had a really cheap car, and I always said I would never spend so much money on a car. Are you ridiculous? And now I do spend a lot of money on a car, although I haven't bought a car. It's all rented. It's all tax deductible, because when you buy a car, there's only so much you're allowed to tax deduct. So for me, it's stupid to buy a car, because I feel like I can't completely tax deduct it. And for me, the only reason why I'm spending this much money on a car is because it's tax deductible. But I must say that now I'm driving in a much better, much more modern car, where it has gadgets in the car and it does certain things, and I have a seat warmer, and my steering wheel, when it's really cold in the morning, I can even put on a heater. These things I really like. So if it's about these things that make your life more comfortable, yes. But if you're buying the car just because it's a brand and people will know that it's expensive, because the car I drive isn't a cheap car, but it's not an expensive brand. I like my comfort, and I don't need to be flashy. I just want to be comfortable. So if you're taking the car because it's comfortable, because more expensive cars than a really, really cheap car is more comfortable, but if you're taking it to show everyone that you have money, I know people that have really expensive cars, like I said last time, and they can't even afford to put any money in the car.
I don't know if we talked about it before, but money doesn't change people. I think it just allows people to be the version they always wanted to be. For example, people that are into designer clothes or whatever, even when they're poor, they would love to try on designer clothes. You know, they would be like, if I had the money, I would buy it. They love it already then. They're just not able to afford it. So of course, when this person has money, probably one of the first things they're going to buy is this designer dress they have been looking at for the last 10 years. I have never I never had the urgency or the feeling that I need to go into a fancy clothes shop and be like, oh, I wish one day I could buy these things. And I think this is exactly the thing, you know, if you've always been a person that is into these kind of things, money will help you, and then it's absolutely fine that you live off your lifestyle because now you have the money, you deserve it. But I think just the people that suddenly completely show off a lifestyle that they were never interested in, that's in my eyes like a bit like,
yeah, or they just saved for enough for the car, and I'd be like, instead of buying the car, do something smart with that money and you can buy the car in 10 years. That's my thing. I would do the smart thing. So if I'm able to buy a very, very, very expensive car and I really like the car, of course I'd buy the car, but it has to be in my head. It has to be smart. Let's say I'm making 200K a year and I spend 50K on a car. That would be so stupid to me. You know, that would be incredibly stupid to me because that's a quarter of my money going to a car. But that's me. I would choose the smarter thing. But I wouldn't say I'm completely not materialistic because I like comfort. Anything that makes my life easier. And when it comes to designer clothes, for me personally, I'm very small, very petite, and buying not designer clothes in my size, I have to go to the children's wear, which is bloody annoying. And you do not have the same mature clothes as you do with adult clothes. So again, makes my life easier. You know, I don't have to go around shopping in 20 different children's stores to get what I want to get. So for you, it's really the comfort. Exactly.
Let's sum it up, because now we've talked a lot about designer clothes, though we're not even into designer. Good job on that hand. We've talked a lot about these things, but I want to know, sum up in, I don't know, 2 or 3 sentences, how you would market lifestyle in a way that you like it.
How I do it is when I was doing the car thing, I showed people, I explained my situation, I explained my thoughts, my trade of thinking of why I wanted the car, what was smart, what was less smart, and I shared my thoughts and my feelings about that, and also the situation I've been in and the current situation I'm in right now, and I asked people's opinions, for example, or I showed people the things that I really enjoy, but without overselling them, you know. I try to be as honest as possible. Okay. And you? How would you?
Well, you know my stories. They're everything from showing my adilettos and my Nike socks. This is, for example, also a thing. Okay, so for me, it's like this. I also just want to be honest. So I show all the sides, and there again, of course, not all the sides. I talked about it on my story. When I feel crap and I don't feel like going on my stories because something personal happened, I'm not going to share it with the world, because in the end, social media is still a job and not everything belongs out there. So maybe saying I share everything is not completely true, but I try to share everything that belongs to me, and I have different kind of sides. You know, I enjoy traveling with you. I enjoy going to Miami. I enjoy going to a yacht party, but I also really enjoy, like I said, sitting here on my sofa, drinking a beer, going to the park with my friends, wearing my sport clothes all day, you know. I'm not making a secret out of these sides. I remember one day somebody told me and was like, yeah, you can't do a story sitting there in your winter jacket without your hair brushed. And I'm like, why not? That's me. Of course, you know, like, I get it. You know, you're trying to sell something, so you should look not like a nightmare. I get it. But in the end, this is me, and I do not want to change for network marketing or anything. This is what I love about network marketing. In a job, I need to wear fancy clothes. I need to have makeup on. And this is what I love about network marketing and social media. It always depends on, of course, you know, when you present, for example, one of our products, of course, you shouldn't look like you are wasted the last 5 days, obviously. Of course. But you know, like when I show me and my life and myself, then of course I will not start to put makeup on just for a story.
No, but you're also not on the yacht party with your hair not done and all that sort of stuff.
No.
So you show the difference of like being comfortable.
Yes.
And yeah.
Because you remember last episode I said, you know, there are people out there using their holiday pictures for the whole year, so they pretend this is their everyday lifestyle, and this is where I'm like, but why, you know? Like, show off your normal lifestyle. Like, I'm showing my broken screen recorder because an iron fell on it, you know. And I'm like, I'm honest about it. I was like, I'm not going to buy a new computer just because there's like a little on the screen. As long as it works, it works.
Yeah, but I do get it, because I do know there's a lot of scrutinizing out there when you haven't made it, or you're not having this great income, that people are like, oh yeah, who are you to tell us what to do, blah, 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 blah. You know, that kind of, so people are scared to show off that they're not 100% rich or whatever.
Yes, and we've talked about it so many times, that people are afraid to show the journey, and I'm always like, but why? I don't get it. I get it, but
I think it has to do with, I think we're both very confident people in our own way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm overly confident or anything, but the last year, when looking back at everything, I'm like, oh yeah. Because people have said to me, like, to us both, that we come off arrogant, we come off as if, like, we walk into a room in a certain way. And I think it's both, because we're both very confident with who we are.
Yeah.
I don't think it's about anything else, about us thinking that we're like,
no, it's confidence.
It's just about us being comfortable with who we are.
Yeah.
Being able to say, I like who I am.
Yeah.
I like the way I am, and I'm fine with it. And I'm fine with other people not liking it.
Yeah.
That's the most important part, because you can like yourself, but if you want everyone around you to like who you are, then it's going to harm you, you know, and you're going to make these stupid mistakes, and you're going to do things to not show that part off, because you care so much about what other people think. But I think once you get that mentality where you're like, I'm cool with the fact that I'm very weird. I'm extremely, like, above average weird, and I'm good with that. I'm absolutely my daughter calls me crazy all the time, and I always say, yeah, I know, you know, I'm really good with that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people miss. Being good with themselves 100%, and being good with the fact that not everybody, you will not be in everyone's taste buds.
No, and you shouldn't be. It's impossible to make everybody happy. That's true. Okay, guys. So it's been a long talk, but maybe you heard it already in this episode. I'm not 100% sure if we ever mentioned it before, but today Mayumi at least did. She mentioned that we are into trading. So we are doing trading and network marketing, and this is also what we want to talk about in the next episode.
Yes.
Because we want to get, you know, like a bit more personal about what it is that we do, and especially because as we are in a trading-based network marketing company, the assumptions are again a bit different than, for example, to a company that sells water or creams. So this is something we really, really want to get into it. And do you have a CTA?
Have a good night. Bye-bye.
See you next week.